תורן.
רגע, אתה בנורבגיה או בישראל?
טבריה, ערבי.
אוקיי, יופי. אתה בטבריה?
No, I'm in Norway, Oslo.
You're in Oslo?
Yeah, bro.
Amazing.
Where are you from? You're from Israel.
Yeah, I'm in Israel, yeah.
Original, you're Morocco?
Good question. Close. No, my dad was born in Egypt, but I was born in America.
Egypt.
My dad was, not me. I was born in America.
America, bro.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm from Tveria originality. My grandfather born in Tveria.
Nice. I love that place.
Palestinian.
Oh, nice.
But I'm living in Norway now.
You were born in Norway, or you were born in here? Here.
I born in Norway. I never been in Palestine. I never
okay.
visit, bro.
Okay.
Because of this is you like Netanyahu.
You never visited because I like Netanyahu. No, you're asking. You're asking me if I like Netanyahu. Okay.
I never visit because of the
Because of the problems.
of this state.
Yeah, because of the problems.
Because of the Israel state, bro. I cannot visit my land. I am not able to go
Yeah,
there.
I know. I wish you guys would have peace with us, and then you could come visit. You know.
We will never have peace for you.
Why not?
In fact, the Ukrainian Jewish to Ukraine and the Russian Jewish to Russian, and.
But what about the Jews who've been here for thousands of years?
Stay with us for sure. You are welcome.
Yeah, but I don't want to be a dhimmi. You know.
Why?
Why? Because I don't want to be a dhimmi. Why should I be a dhimmi? I want equal rights. Thank you. In my homeland.
Equal right. You can have an equal right with us.
Not of a dhimmi. No.
The Jewish was living with us without problem.
Before 1948, there was the British Mandate here.
Yeah, and you were living with us without a problem.
Because it was under the British Empire. But before that, it was...
It doesn't matter because...
No, it was. Because when it was the Ottoman Empire, we weren't living in peace.
There was no problem, and jizya wasn't humiliated.
But we always welcome the Jewish. We not born them. When Hitler born your people, we not born you. We welcome you to Palestine.
No. Hang on. Do you remember who Haj Amin al-Husseini was?
Haj Amin Husseini.
Yeah. You remember him?
Yeah.
So he was the sort of religious leader of the Muslims in British Mandate Palestine. Right? He was one of the highest paid Nazis on Hitler's payroll. He was a good friend of Hitler. He spent years in Berlin during the Second World War. And he gave Hitler a lot of the inspiration on how to kill Jews. Yeah?
Oh my God.
And he also told Hitler, after you kill all the Jews in Europe, we're going to build concentration camps in Palestine to kill all the Jews there. So he was a very violent person in his heart. And
bro, you born us because of Haj Amin Husseini.
What? No, I don't hate you guys at all, man. I want peace, bro. I don't want war.
We too want peace. We all tired of this shit.
I know, we're all tired of it.
They call it the Holy Land, but we don't see this as a Holy Land. We see that's a blood land.
It's a lot of blood and a lot of holes in the ground.
Yeah, it's Holy Land. I think it's a bloody land.
Land. It is. I honestly, what I really hope in my heart is that you guys will have leaders who actually want to bring you to a better future. Because right now...
Leaders, they are motherfucker, we know that.
100%. That's why I'm saying I want you to have better leaders.
From Yasser, from Abu Ammar to
all of them.
All of them.
Bro, you and I agree on this, man. Like 100%. And I'm not saying we have the best leaders or something like that. We have politicians who have problems too. But at least we get to choose, who our politicians are. You guys, unfortunately, you don't even get to choose, and it breaks my heart because it means you really don't have free choice. And he's from Tveria. I'm sorry, I'm talking to people in the Discord here. He's from Tveria, Tiberias, here in Israel. Well, Palestine when his grandfather was here. So, sorry, there's just people in my ear talking to me in Discord.
Yeah, are you live now?
Yeah, on the Discord or YouTube or whatever. This is, yeah.
But I'm with you live also.
Yeah. We're talking in Discord. The people watching us in Discord. It's like a private Discord server,
Right. So
yeah.
they're watching us.
Yeah. And people, like very friendly people from all over the world. In fact, somebody's from Norway and said, hey, pick Norway in the country in Omi TV. Yeah, because she said there's somebody, let's see which Norwegians we'll run into. And we ran into you, which is fantastic.
Hey,
yeah, man.
So let us keep talking.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I was just saying, I want you guys to have good leaders, that can give you actual peace. Like, I want you guys to have, between yourselves, within Palestinian society, I want men and women to have equal rights, for example, right?
We have equal rights for women.
No, you don't really have women.
We have equal rights.
Bro, women are forced to wear the hijab, right?
No, they are not forced to wear hijab. You are
Okay.
wrong, bro.
No. Go to Gaza and see how many women are not wearing hijab
I
now.
have friends from Gaza. And
So do
these
I.
people not forced to wear hijab anywhere
Oh,
in Muslim countries.
on the books, yes, but they're pressured to do it. You know that, right? Just as an example, okay. For example, there isn't.
They are not forced to wear hijab.
Okay,
In Syria.
maybe okay, but like let's look at their religion, right? Like there are no Jews allowed in Palestine, in like Palestinian areas. No Jews, right?
They are not allowed.
They're not allowed. That's not okay. How can that be? If you say you want, like if Palestinians say they want to have peace with us and they want to live, how come they don't allow Jews to live with them? What
But
kind
how
of peace
can we
is
have
that?
a peace with you? So far, you occupied our land, and you import people from
No.
Ukraine, Russia, and everywhere in the world to our
No.
land. How can we?
So
have
that's
peace
the
with you?
okay. So when you say it's your land, right? Let's talk about the what is the land? Oh, if you want, let's talk about the history
You
then.
can talk about this.
Okay, sure. So let's look at when it was British Mandate Palestine, right? Between 1921 and 1945, when the British were here after the Balfour Declaration in 1917. The British took it from the Ottoman Empire after World War I, and they set up the plan to establish a Jewish homeland in British Mandate Palestine. And British Mandate Palestine at the time was not just what is Israel today and Judea and Samaria and Gaza, but it was also all of what is today called Jordan, right?
Jordan, right.
It was all part of the British Mandate of Palestine. You know that. And they gave away 80% of that land to a fake new country that they made up out of thin air called Jordan, Transjordan, right? They picked the guy from Saudi Arabia, from the Hashemite, and they said, you come be the king of Jordan, this new country.
Yeah.
So they took 80% of the land, the Jordanians. 80%, that's practically everything. Yeah.
Jordanian, not the Palestinian.
Right, the Jordanians have 80% of the land,
That's not
which
our
is...
mistake. Yes.
I didn't say it's your mistake, bro. I'm saying the map of what the Jewish homeland was supposed to
They not
be...
accepted. You know, they not took it. They not took the 80%. They keep fighting.
Who kept fighting?
The king of Jordan. Hussein,
Yeah. Kept fighting what?
keep fighting with the Hajana. I don't know with this.
Haganah.
Haganah.
Yeah, because he wanted all of Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted all of it. He wasn't happy with 80%. He wanted everything. He didn't want the Arabs. Yeah, he was. He didn't want it. He occupied the West Bank in the 1948 War of Independence, what you guys call the Nakba, right? Jordan conquered the West Bank, yeah, and they never made Palestine there. They just kept it part of Jordan.
Yes.
And in 1967, Israel conquered the West Bank, and we didn't make Palestine, right? And now it's occupied, right, by us. Right? You could say it's occupied. We say it's disputed, but you guys say it's occupied. Fine, it's occupied. Okay.
Yeah.
But the point is, the land that is Israel now, and if you include all of Judea and all of Samaria, right, and all of Gaza, that's 20% of the British Mandate map that we were supposed to get as a homeland. But we said, fine, we'll take 20%, no problem. And then they said, no, we're going to divide that 20% because the Arabs who were here before, they didn't agree to give us 20% of the original map. They said, no, we want you to have 0%. So at the time, the League of Nations and then the United Nations said, okay, we'll divide up the map. So the Arabs and the Jews get roughly half and half. It was like 45% for the Arabs, but you got all the nice land on the hills and everything. And we got deserts and swamps, so we got about 55%. We got the Negev, we got the Arava, the empty deserts. Yeah. So, and at the time, when it happened in 1948, Jews owned we bought about 6% of the land, right? That was here.
60% of the land.
No, 6%. 6%. And the Arabs had...
From who you bought it? You not bought it from the Palestinians.
No, we bought it. We bought it from Arabs.
Yeah, from Arabs.
Yeah.
Who were farmers on Palestine.
Yeah, we bought 6% of the land, and the farmers...
Palestinian, to give you correct.
No, there were Arabs here.
Yeah, they were Arabs.
Yeah, they didn't call themselves Palestinians. They were called Arabs. Yeah, 100%. And the Arabs owned about 12% of the land, meaning they had the land with titles and deeds to about 12% of the land, and the rest of the land was just considered, British Mandate Palestine, or before that, when it was in the Ottoman Empire, the southern government of Syria, etc., going back through history. So there were Arabs on about 12% of the land, Jews on about 6% of the land, and about what is that? That's 18%. So 82% of the land, 82% of the land was uninhabited. It was
88%. How could you?
no, we had 6%. Like the Jews had
And
6%.
Arab has
The Arabs
6%.
had the Arabs had 12%. The Arabs had about twice as much as we did, right?
So it's
And
80% less.
so it's about 18% less, which means about 82% of the land was uninhabited because it was desert and it was swamp and it was, empty places that most people didn't live in because it was uninhabitable. There were no cities and towns like there are now, right? Right. So we're
I
talking.
agree with you with that.
Okay.
The
But
rest of the land was like
are you saying that there were millions of people living in
not
Israel?
millions of people, but there were all the city on the world like Ariha, Orshalim, and many cities.
No, there were
also,
cities.
with,
There were old cities.
houses.
Yeah, but there's
Many
many
like many
cities.
village. It was many village. How could you be like desert and
But it
not
no
like
no
people?
no. I'm saying in the places where there were settlements and villages, right? If you add up all the towns and settlements and villages, all in all, the land that was lived in by people was about 18% of the land. The rest of the land was empty. Like there weren't people living in the desert of Judea and in the desert of the Arava and in the Negev.
And the Jews bought a lot of land as well.
Yeah, exactly. We bought the six. I'm just talking to somebody in the ear there. Yeah, we bought 6% of the land, right? So yeah, so the point is, Israel is actually a much smaller piece of land now than the original plan was. And Israel
Right.
said, by the way,
And why they keeping
we never wanted to displace any Arabs when we said we need a Jewish homeland. Like when Theodore Herzl said we need
how
a
can
Jewish
you make
homeland.
a Jewish homeland on
Yeah.
Arab land or Arab place? How you can
So
become on the area which are all the area are Arab? How the Jewish come there?
so it's
Where
not.
they come there?
But that's what I'm telling you. But that's what I'm telling you.
Trying to
Most of the
create one land with a full of enemy around you. How can you create a land there? Why? What the reason? Why you import people from Russia and Ukraine and all the world and you keep killing the Arab? You have killed more than 60,000 Palestinians only in this last war on Gaza. And the Jewish think that the Arab they will not attack again and they will never do 7 October again. As far you kill people, so you will get a new 7 October. That's a fact. If you keep kill people, these people have families, have brother, have sisters, families, all the way. So these people will keep attacking you in the future. When
So
they
that-
have first chance.
So that is you see this is part of the problem with
Yeah.
the thinking of the
Killing is not solution.
no, right, but hold on. The part of the problem of the way that philosophy works that you just said, for example, is that after World War II, when millions of Jews were killed in Germany and millions of other people were killed because of Germany, like many tens of millions.
Yes.
No, not just 6 million Jews. Tens of millions of Russians and other people
Yeah.
were slaughtered by the Nazis, right?
Yes.
Did all the people who were affected go and kill every German person afterwards?
No.
No, right, because we were able to say, okay, the war is over, the past is the past, let's move on and live in peace. So why can't the Arabs
But
do
at
that?
least everybody took his land. The German took the German, the Russian.
No,
Russians
no,
have
no,
the
no,
Soviet.
no. You're
There are no land
no.
invaded,
You
no
are
war ended,
you
no-
are. First of all, no. 15 million Germans were ethnically cleansed from eastern parts, or like east of Germany, from Poland and Hungary and places like that. Right? They were kicked out and sent back to Germany. Right? So the lands that they owned and lived in for centuries, but because they were ethnically German, they were sent back to Germany, right? And many of them were killed. 15 million, right? Not a couple of million like we have here in Palestine, right? 15 million, right? On top of that, right, we didn't all get up and kill all of the Germans for the violence they did to us. And they did to us things that are unspeakable, okay?
Yeah, you know.
Okay, and we didn't get up, and as Jews, we didn't get up and decide, hey, let's go kill all the Germans. No, we said we're going to live in peace with the people of the world. And we made our country here, and we made a country that has good relations even with Germany, right? Think about that. We are not constantly seeking violence. The ones who are constantly seeking violence are the terrorists and the crazy people who are like jihadi nutbags who all they want is to fight.
But how can you make land on the plot of the people? How can you kick the original people of the land?
We didn't kick.
Made the land and import people from all the world.
We didn't kick. Okay, most of the people that left, out of the 700,000 Arabs that were living here in Israel or Palestine, British Mandate Palestine, yeah. About what? About 700,000 left, right? And about 300,000 stayed, right?
Yes.
Right. We didn't want anybody to leave. We asked, it's in our Declaration of Independence. It says anybody who stays here and lives in peace will have full citizenship. But remember, there wasn't a country called Palestine before. So it would have been a brand new country. It would have been a brand new country. So the borders would have been new. There was no previous country. We weren't kicking anybody out. The land was divided by international powers, not by us. We didn't draw the map. The map was drawn by the UN, right? The Arabs didn't draw the map. The Jews didn't draw the map. The international community drew the map, right? And we have to live with it.
And they do the map of 1967, and the Jewish and the Israeli state not go with that.
No. 1967 happened, but obviously 1967 happened after the creation of the new state of Israel, right?
Yeah.
Right. So in 1948, it was the international community that divided the land, not us. We didn't kick people out.
But why do you think they divided to give the Jewish land?
Because we have a right to our homeland, just like you guys want a right to your homeland.
No, bro, because they want to kick the Jewish from all the world, from especially Europe.
We need a country for our. The Muslims have 53 countries, and 22 and 22 of them are Arab Muslim, right?
Yeah.
Think about that. Why can't Jews have one country? And one country that is literally 10% of the original plan to give us the land.
Why you want to make your country on our land? What the reason you make?
But it's our land.
If the Muslim have 53 countries.
It does.
100 countries.
It does.
It doesn't matter because this is our land.
No, it's our land too. It's our land too.
I not feel that I'm belonging to Syria or Lebanon.
But it's our land too. Yeah, you say you belong to Palestine because you have a modern thinking, but you know that your Arab brothers and sisters consider themselves to be part of the Ummah, which is one nation, right? It's one large Muslim nation.
Jihadiyin and this stuff. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about belonging to my land.
Okay,
where my grandfather became.
Okay, so you understand that where your grandfather was from, right? And he was an Arab, right? He was an Arab here in British Mandate Palestine, right? And he lived here. We didn't want to kick him out. Did he get kicked out or did he leave? Hang on. Did he leave? Was he in Deir Yassin?
Yeah.
Your grandfather. Of course, terrible things happen. Well, terrible things happen there. Yeah, but terrible things happen in many places.
I cannot do many massacres on.
1920, but there were many more massacres by Arabs against Jews. Hebron, 1929. Tzfat, 1929. Tzfat, 1921. Jerusalem, 1921. You know these things happened? Massacres by Arabs against Jews.
By Arabs against the Jews?
Yes.
1921.
Yes. Yes, in Hebron. And in Jerusalem. And in Urshalim, yes. Bro, they killed and in 1921, by the way, there were more Jews in Urshalim than there were Muslims, just so you know. It was a predominantly Jewish city in 1921, and even 100 years ago, and more.
Okay, then what the reason? What the reason they importing Russian, Ukrainian Jewish from?
It's our homeland. It's our homeland. We have the right to be here if we're Jewish, just like you should have.
That you have a right to be there.
Okay. Do you understand how Norwegians have a right to be in Norway, and French people have a right to be in France, and Americans? Okay, so Jews have a right to be in Israel. This is our homeland.
There are no land belonging to any religion. You belong this land.
It's not a religion.
We are Russian. You import them only because they are Jewish.
Yeah, Jewish is not just a religion, is what I'm explaining to you.
It's a nation.
It's a nation. We are an ethno-religion, meaning we have both ethnicity and religion. That's our nation. It's not just one thing or the other. If you're Jew, even if you don't practice Judaism, even if you say I'm Christian, but you were born from a Jewish mother, you're still considered Jewish as a person, genetically and ethnically, right? Ethnically, you're still a Jew. You could practice Zen Buddhism and still be a Jew, right?
As far as this is Jewish who are living in Ukraine or anywhere in the world, they are not survived. They are living in peace, and they get all their human rights there in Ukraine or Russian or Germany or wherever. Okay, why you import them to that?
We didn't import them. They came here. They came here.
There and to kick the original people of this piece of land out.
No, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so we didn't.
You
bro.
made it tight for these people. We saw many videos. I saw this video of
Okay.
Jacob who
Okay.
stole a house from one bear.
Uh
If
huh.
I not stole your house, someone else gonna steal your
Yes,
house. What's going on?
that schmuck. Yeah, that guy is a schmuck. That's what we call it.
What a schmuck.
Like a dick. Yeah, he's a dick. Right? He's not a nice person. Right? I saw that video. He's a terrible person. That guy that said that. But okay, in 1940, you're saying we stole the land, right? But we kicked people out. We didn't kick people out. Most of the people that left here left because the Arab leaders of Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Sudan, they sent armies to here to kill the Jews to prevent Israel from being a country, right? So they sent people
That's
here.
fake. The Arab never fighting. That's real.
Bro, bro, come on. You can't be serious and say that the Arabs didn't attack Israel. Hang on. I did.
The King Hussein, he gambling. He
Guy.
told the Arab, he told the Palestinian, get out of the land. I'm going to fight Israel for 48 hours.
That's right.
And come back.
Thank you. So he caused. Yes. So he caused the. So the Arabs caused the Nakba. Do you understand?
When I say I'm Palestinian, I'm not Arab. As far because the Arab they not.
I agree with you. You're not Arab, but unless you were actually from an Arab, you are Arabized. So, well, yeah, you can have some DNA that says you're from the Canaan people, but the Canaanites are gone, right? There are no Canaanites as a people, but there are people who have, and they're Jewish and Muslim, by the way, who have mixed DNA with that show leftover DNA, or genetic ancestry with Canaanites. Yes, but there.
Allow me to ask you one question.
Yeah, but hold on. Before you get there, you understand, because it sounds like you do understand, right? Because you're Canaanite, you said, and not Arab, right? So this land was conquered by the Arabs, and it's the Arabs, like the king of Jordan and the people in the government of Lebanon and Syria and all these. They caused the Nakba when they sent their armies here. They caused the catastrophe of your father leaving his home. It's not the Jews who did that. It's because they promised they would destroy Israel, and they failed. That's all, And then the Jordanians kept all of Judea and Samaria. They kept, a lot of the land. And the Egyptians kept Gaza. They didn't make Palestine and Gaza. They just said, no, it's Egypt. Why? And then when we offered to give Gaza back to Egypt in 1967 after we conquered it, we said, here, Egypt. And they said, no, we don't want it. Why?
Yeah. That's why I tell you that we are not Arab.
I know you're not, but you know how many people say you are. And also, because some people don't know. Some people legitimately are not, like you, right? You're not Arab. But some people actually are descended from the Arabs who came here and conquered here, right? Some of them. But many, many, many Palestinians were also Jewish 500 years or 1,000 years ago until they were forced to convert to Islam, right? Yes. So you could, for all you know, I don't know how far your family tree goes back, but maybe you even have Jewish descendants that were mixed in with your family hundreds of years ago. Who knows,
Yeah.
Like we're like brothers, man.
Religion who came on all the world.
What is?
The Jewish religion was the first religion who came on all the world.
The first Abrahamic religion.
Abrahamic religion.
Yeah.
Like
believing in one God. Yeah.
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 But this religion, there are book on, there are Quran and Torah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very important for the world, absolutely. Yeah. And it all comes from this land, absolutely.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Why the Ukrainian Jewish or the Moroccan Jewish or whatever have a right to come back to this land?
Because we're Jews.
Not have a right to come back to my village, to Tveria, to where I come from. Okay? Because I'm not belonging to anywhere in the world.
Right.
For example, here in Norway, I'm not blonde, I not look like a Norwegian.
Right.
So when they tell me, go back to your country, then where's my country? My country could not be Lebanon, Syria, or Saudi Arabia, or Jordan. And I not have the right to come back to my land when the Jewish Ukrainian who not belonging nothing to this land, or maybe belonging from 3,000-4,000 years back, or have some DNA from this land, can come there and get full human right when I not get that.
Okay, so
I'm not belonging, and there are 7 million Palestinians have same situation as me. They have no belonging to any other land on all this world.
Two things.
Yes.
One, by that same token, why don't I have the right to get my land back in Egypt?
You not have a right to get your land back in Egypt.
No, I don't.
How can you say? How can you decide that it's your land on Egypt?
Well, because my family on my
Your
dad's side
prophet.
was from Egypt.
Yeah.
We got kicked out of Egypt. My dad was born in Egypt. Why can't I go back there and get his property and go buy, go have his house and go live in Cairo like he used to live very well? Why can't I?
Because your dad chose to move there.
Didn't choose. No. No, he was kicked out by Gamal Abdel Nasser.
Yes.
Yeah. Second of all, that's why, because the Arabs lost the war in 1948 because they declared war on us. That's why.
Yeah.
Because we won the war. That's why. And now there's a rule on who can live in what side. But you could live in theory in the West Bank, right? In theory,
Yeah.
you could live in the West Bank, and hopefully we'll have peace someday, and you can live, in this land.
But what?
You understand? I have no problem with you living in this land, right? Like, and frankly, if it was up to me, it would all be one country, and we would call it Jehoshaphat. Okay? I don't care what you call it. Call it Big Balloon Land. I don't care what you call it, as long as we all live here with equal rights and freedom and democracy. Yeah. And we actually have like real equal rights and a real democracy. And if Arabs want to govern themselves and Jews want to govern themselves, fine, I don't care. But it would, as long as we live in peace is the thing that is really missing more than anything. And fighting over who did what 80 years ago or 100 years ago, bro, we can go back forever.
Man, it's not seems like the Israeli want a peace because they keep occupying on Syria and on Lebanon. Even everywhere, they keep occupating. Now,
who's occupying? Who's occupying? Who's occupying?
Haramon Mountain on Syria.
What do you mean? Bro, I literally just spoke to somebody who's Syrian who literally said, "I understand why you did that, and I don't hate you guys for it, and I get it, and I still want peace with you guys." The only reason that Israel took a tiny little top of a mountain that we already controlled, we already controlled Mount Hermon, but now we just took the very top of it, where there was an empty like army shack the size of like a small tiny little budke, like 2 meters by 2 meters army post. It was tiny, right? Yeah. We went there to make sure that the jihadis from al-Shara in Syria weren't going to shoot down at us. That's why we took it. That's the only reason we took it.
Nobody has tried to shoot on you.
Because we kept them. Yeah, they did actually. During the last 2 years, we got a lot of rockets from Syria, from jihadis in Syria. We had a lot of rockets shoot over the Golan.
Regime, not now,
Assad regime, and afterwards too. And afterwards, in the last year, since al-Shara has been in power, we have had rockets fly over the Golan, 100%.
Yeah.
Now a lot less than before, but still.
The solution that we go occupy others' countries.
No, we're not, bro. We took an empty mountaintop. There's nobody living there. It's an empty army post.
It's not only a mountain. It's not only the mountain. They keep going on Konetra.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not. We don't have any interest. No.
Every day from there.
We do not have any interest in taking Syria.
On Konetra. We have a call also.
Who? Do you know who's being arrested? Because I can tell you who's being arrested. You know, right?
Give you the right to go and arrest people on other land.
They're attacking Druze in Syria.
Why you not save your land? And Golan, what about Golan? You keep invading Golan.
No, we don't occupy it. We annexed it. We didn't occupy it. We annexed it. It's part of our country. We annexed it.
No, but it's a part of Syria now.
No.
All the words say
no.
Go by United Nations and the international law. It's a part of Syria.
No, it is not. It is annexed under Israel law. No, it is not. It is annexed under Israeli law. That means it's part of Israel proper. That means it's governed by Israeli law. Even the United States recognizes that.
United States, yeah. After what? 2020, before 5 years ago only.
It's annexed. It's part of the part of Israel.
The USA for sure they're supporting you on all the way, but
yeah.
So far this supporting will finish. Israel is done.
They support Israel because we have shared values, and the United Nations is run mostly by a bunch of dictatorships, unfortunately. So that's why there are. If you look at the UN Security Council resolutions, there have been in the last 10 years 174 resolutions against Israel, which is more than twice or 3 or 4 times as much as all the other countries in the world, including North Korea and China and Iran. Are you going to tell me they don't deserve to be condemned more for murdering their own citizens? Oh, bro, he left. That was a good one.